Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and doing some first impressions and painting with the new products from Paul Rubens. I hope you enjoy. We're going to go ahead and unbox this exciting package. This is a wooden watercolor palette from Lightwish, and Lightwish is part of the Paul Rubens family. I wanted to show you how it comes packaged so you know what you're getting, and let me go ahead and open this up. Alright, so it comes in a really nice box. It's very giftable, so I really love the way they packaged this, and it is made in China. And I'm really excited about this because this was not available at the time that they asked if I would like to try this, and I have no idea what's in it. So I haven't seen any pictures or anything, so I'm really excited to see what it's all about. They just said it was a wooden travel watercolor palette. I knew I really wanted to plein air paint this year, and so I was excited to try it. So let's see. Oh wow, look how nice they've done this. All right. I think this could benefit so many artists. Now you get to a certain point where you just want to use artist grade materials and you don't need any more affordable paint sets unless you're like me and I really just enjoy trying them and seeing how they compare. It's just like curiosity. I think a lot of you are just, you know, you're maxed. You don't need any more affordable paints. I think lots of artists could benefit from affordable travel art supplies. So I really love the way you've packaged this. So we have a gold clip because this is going to be for travel watercoloring. So they're trying to give you, I think, everything you need in here. Let's see, you have a little, looks like a brass cup. It's definitely metal. Let's see, so they've got it nice and they've packaged it really nice so you can, okay, and then we have a nice, this feels like walnut, and it does have a screw hole so you can attach it to a tripod. All right, so it does, so I'm going to show you all four sides. It comes with nice metal hardware, and it comes with, it's kind of an antique brass on this side and antique brass on this side. And this is kind of, these are black in case that's not coming through. It feels very nice though. And then it does have a brass attachment there that you can attach to a tripod. Very nice. All right, so it's magnetic, so it's not too difficult to open, but it does have enough where it's not going to like fall open in your bag. So I really like that, but it's not too difficult to open. Okay, so there's how it opens. So they have a nice, I think they've been really smart about how they design this. If you can see right here, you have places to put your fingers for the openings to make it really easy, and it's magnetic and it opens. Oh, look at this. This is nice. Okay, so we have a place here you can put a pencil or a pen. It's going to be the perfect place to put a travel paintbrush. And then it has two openings here. Okay. Oh, that folds out really nice. And there's a ceramic. Nope, that's plastic. I wish it was ceramic, but it's plastic, so it's going to be lightweight and it won't break. So the two sides, this, it feels like it would last a lifetime. These feels like it would last for many years, but not quite as good. And then there is some like debris or something from, I don't know what's that from. Okay, it's cleaning up. I don't have any towels here. Okay, some kind of dirt or something from the factory is in there. And so I'll have to wash that later. When they reached out to me, this wasn't available to look at on Amazon, so I have no idea what it was going to be like. And I am impressed, and I'm very happy to try this out. So you obviously are going to put this little water container right here, right-handed, so I kind of wish the water was on this side. It won't be that big of a deal to go over here. If you're a left-hander, you're going to love that because the water's right there, and then you get your paint, and then you mix it. But since I'm right-handed, I would rather have the water container right here. So if you're using it plein air, it'll sit flush and will be really nice. I can't wait to find my perfect colors to put in the palette and then let them dry, and then we will take this out and paint with it. But I just wanted to give you my first impressions. This is a brand new release. As soon as it's on Amazon, then I will release this video and have a coupon code for you guys. So I'm not sure the price. I know they have a larger one, and that one looks really nice as well. So you might compare the two to see which will be best. But if you're doing plein air, it's going to be great. But if you're sitting at a table to use this, which let's face it, this could be used all the time. And the water container is really small. So it's very pretty though. I'm gonna want to try to use this at my couch or quite honestly in bed. Because yeah, I'm that age now. And my husband's 10 years older, so we go to bed early now. Yeah, I was the one at New Year's, like, I didn't care and I was in bed already before New Year's. So you could use a block, which that would be really nice to use a block of paper. And then you don't even need the clip. Okay, so Lightwish does have these little sketchbooks, and this is the, I'll link it below, but Lightwish does have this little ones. And I took this to Disney and sketched with it. Let's see if that's going to, I want to try to find a sketchbook that works, because that would be the best to me. I don't know about you guys. I would rather try to use a sketchbook. So let's see if this can work. You can cut down some paper. It looks like a 4x6 piece of paper will fit the best. And then you're able to clip it down while you paint. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to try this. So I will be making an upcoming video just trying this out. But I just wanted to unbox it and let you see what it looked like. We are going to be taking a look at a new set of watercolors from Paul Rubens. This is a colorful rainbow set, and there's what the box looks like. Let's see, I'll take a look at the back. It is made in China, and it's recommended for 14 and up. And that's why I try to save and do an unboxing so you can get all the information before you purchase. So let's go ahead and open this up. And I also have a set of watercolor brushes from Lightwish. So let's actually take a look at these brushes first, because it says premium quality 10 watercolor art brushes, the finest synthetic squirrel brush. This also recommends for 14 and up. So they have some plastic. I'm going to go ahead and cut all these open. This brush set includes 10 different brushes. So there are two, I believe these are 2 cat's tongue brushes, which I have never tried before, so I'm really excited. 2 flat brushes, and then looks like 6 round brushes, and they have various sizes. This is a size 12. You can see all the sizes here. The 12 looks like a nice size 12, but the rest of them look like they're running smaller than my typical brushes. That's one thing I'm still learning, very much learning about everything, but especially brushes. Brushes to me are like jeans. It just depends on the brand of what size they want to call it. All right, let's check out this. Oh, look at this. This is really pretty. That's really pretty, actually. It looks prettier to me in person than it did on the online listing. So it's got some nice yellow, orange, green, and then green into blue. Got a little bit of light blue here, and then some darker blue and darker greens. Really pretty. And then it continues on the back side. So that's really pretty. They did a good job with that. I started collecting Schmincke palettes, pretty much like I do. A lot of people do the Prima sets. So I think that's where they got the idea. So let me go ahead and just show you comparison. Paul Rubens watercolors, and then this is the current best one I can find here in the US at Blick, and this is $69 and it's for 12 half pans. I really enjoy this color selection, and that is the best currently, and it comes in a really pretty tin. I will say that Paul Rubens is shinier, and it's actually taller, and so, but the color payoff is pretty good. So I'm really happy because with the Schmincke palettes, they're very beautiful and I find them at really good prices, but you can't count on those prices to stay good. So it's nice to have some. Here's the other one that I really love. This one comes with AKADEMIE paints, and I still need to do a review, but this is their student grade version, and some point I need to finish the review for that. But yeah, I think that's where they're getting the inspiration, and I absolutely love it because for the tin, if you're getting it for the tin, which I have a feeling a lot of people will, wanted to kind of compare that a little bit. Okay, now let's open it up and see about the paints. Okay, so here's a leaflet. It says, oh, they're gonna have 48 colors. Oh, look, maybe they'll have one that has pink in it and purples. That would be, if they could make them with pink and purples and aqua, that would be a dream come true for me. I think this is just talking about their paint now. I got excited thinking they were gonna have another bigger one for 48 colors with that background. That would be really nice. So it looks like this line of paints. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I did not pull up Google Translate. But it looks like they're going to have 48 colors. So they have a swatch card, and then here is the actual watercolors. They are in, haven't seen these before, this is new. So they've marked them all with a number and a name. Let's see if they're, sometimes you need to check because sometimes the name here isn't this name here. So it's good to give it a little check and make sure that all the names are there. And then generally, oh, they just slide out this time. Okay, so it looks like the paints are poured in, which is nice. They stay put. I think I want to label these really quick. But it does have the pigment information and the light fast information. This is PB29 because it's ultramarine. So it's really light fast. So they have 24 plus 2. So you're actually getting 26 half pans. That's interesting. What color is this one? Mars Black. Oh, wow. This is just a bonus color. I'm okay getting bonus paint, but I am going to take these out and label them, and then we'll start some swatching and painting. Let's take a look at a couple more of these. Some that I know I'm going to like. I'm probably going to like this Permanent Rose. It's PV19. That one will be a nice one. Okay. Oh, look. Okay, so it has a nice glossy finish. So now I'm going to go ahead and start swatching them out. I'm going to take them out of the palette so you can see how easily they re-wet. I prefer paints that I do not have to pre-wet. It's just a personal preference. I have a Gamboge hue that is pretty much like a quinacridone gold, and I really enjoy that color. They're saying that's made with PY153. It has a Permanent Rose that's really pretty. Alizarin Crimson hue. They listed as PR206, but I'm pretty sure that's probably really PR179. Their 5th generation and 4th generation was listed as PR179. I really, of course, love the Purple Lake. But look at this cerulean blue hue. That's really pretty for skies. You can see some granulation on the ultramarine. They've made indigos to me that are prettier, but this one is going to be more light fast. Look at that. Can you see that granulation? We'll do a little bit of mixing and show you, but look, that granulation is going to be really pretty. So here are the swatches all dry on the color swatch that they kindly provide. I did not notice any difference with what was actually written on the half pan and what was on the actual color swatch chart, which that was really nice. The only thing I will say is there's quite a few paints that they are listing with retired pigments, and I don't want, I wouldn't recommend anybody buy this thinking you're going to get that pigment, that retired pigment that's no longer here. Like, I don't even know if PR88 is still I mean, do they possibly have some old stock? Maybe, but I don't really think so. I think PR 206, I think that's probably PR 179 maybe. I don't believe they put P049. I mean, this is an Academy set, and that's a retired pigment, and this is a company. I don't think they would be putting P049 in an Academy set, number one. Yeah, I don't. I'm not trying to be mean, but I think that is, they kind of guessed what everyone else was using a long time ago, and that I think they just kind of keep using that pigment information. So I don't think this is a set for people who care about our pigment nerds. I don't want anybody being misled, but I wish they would do better if they're going to provide the pigment information. So the brushes are long. They're too long to fit in the set from Lightwish, but let's give them a try. But I did want to let you know that they are longer handled, so they're not going to fit in any of the palettes that you have. Lots of brushes that I have not tried, and I've never tried a cat's tongue brush, so I'm excited, and we're going to try that out, and I'm going to try to make some florals. I really don't know what to do with any of these brushes, so I can't wait to try them and experiment with them. I love trying all the new colors and all the supplies. I have not experimented very much, honestly, with brushes. I've just been using what I have because they work. So I'm excited to try these. So my favorites, so I'm going to just kind of give a sample of the brush width. You could get really fine details with them, and they were really good for fine detail. They weren't, to me, and you can lift with them, but they weren't as good at lifting as the brushes that I use all the time. So here I'm quickly sharing some of my favorite mixes with that Mars Black. It has the PBK11, which is a granulating color, so it makes really fun mixes. Some of my favorite colors from Van Gogh and Rembrandt have this PBK11. So this is just in a student grade form. And I'm trying a few different yellows, and my favorite is the lemon yellow. So I'm going to share those swatches in just a minute so you can see those. But yeah, it was a really nice, I really enjoyed that Mars Black. And I wish it was coming in every set because then then that would be another added bonus of why, of a big reason why this would be a fun paint to try. So I'm writing all those mixes so you can see which colors they were really quickly. And oh, and then I wanted to try ultramarine because Daniel Smith has a color that I like called Lunar Black. And basically that's all that is their Lunar Black, which is PBK11. It's the same as this pigment, and ultramarine blue. And here you can make your own on the cheap. Also, I just want to make you aware that you may or may not get that Mars Black. I don't know. If anyone else has ordered this, please let me know what your bonus colors are, because I'd really like to know if that's what everyone's getting. So I'm back about, it's been about a month that I've been playing with these paints from Paul Rubens, and these are an Academy grade paint. And after painting with them, I would say they are an Academy grade. They, oh, they're a bit cracked now. Can you see that? Which that can happen in a few different brands. So, but mainly Gonzai Tombi paints have done that. They've cracked badly though, where they've fallen out. None of these have cracked where they're falling out or anything like that. So here's the painting that I've mostly finished. I will go in and still finish the leaves, and that's just what I tend to do. I tend to do most of the painting, and I did film most of it, but then I always go in after and I fiddle, and I fiddle, and I fiddle because I enjoy it. And so I just kept adding more watercolor pencils mostly. So, but I'm mostly finished, and yeah, I tend to overwork it. That's just... That's just my thing. It's just because I enjoy it and I keep fiddling and I always learn. So that's why I'm always fiddling, because then I'm still learning. Because if you're new to my channel, I've only been actually painting about 2 years. I started collecting watercolors and art supplies as a crafter. And then I remembered after COVID, I took a long break because I kind of left the craft community. I couldn't be on design teams anymore because, quite honestly, my husband lost his job, so I couldn't afford to give my time away for free anymore. And yeah, I started drawing and painting really because Paul Rubens sent me paints. And then I thought, oh, well, I'm going to have to actually draw and paint this time then. And then it kind of started me painting and painting more with a mindset of someone who draws and paints instead of as a crafter. And it really did change my outlook on everything. So I did use these. They're saying this is an Academy grade. Really pretty tin. I think half of you or more may be getting it because the tin is really just so pretty. And I love the palette. The palette is a 10. The palette's really beautiful, and I really hope they do this again. I just say I would really like a PR 122, magenta, kind of a leaning fuchsia, leaning a little violet, with some aquas and teals, and then some violets. I think that would be amazing. And then I would love if they would do that, and I would love it if they would do that with some of the 4th generation palettes myself, and give us a floral palette, maybe some seasonal palettes. I really hope that they do. I really hope to see that from Paul Rubens, but you guys will have to tell me what you would like to see. I did use some of the Arctic's watercolor pencils, and this is not a review today of these. I just wanted to let you know what pencils I'm using. They especially had one color that is this 585 plant yellow right here. I use that for the koala's eyes, and I really, when I swatched that out, I was like, oh my gosh, that's not a very pretty color. What in the world would I do with that color? And I found the answer, and it is paint the koala's eyes. It wound up being pretty perfect. Now, I was sent the Arctic's watercolor pencils, and I'm not sure of the price of them. I'll just say I'm on the fence with these, and I'm still trying these out. And honestly, they were sent to me a while, and I think initially I was so excited to get them, and then quite honestly, I was kind of they weren't quite what I was waiting for. Let's say that in the nicest way. I love the packaging, it's beautiful. But I'm still trying to love them. I don't know. They have some really pretty colors, and these are the colors I used today. And I know they're affordable, and so I'm probably, most people say I'm too picky. I think maybe water-soluble pencils are harder to do in a budget form. I'm not sure. I haven't found a budget set of pencils that I really like, to be honest. So, but this is the painting that I did, and I'm going to share most of the footage. I think they didn't have much flow. But all in all, I tried it with a few different ultramarines, and I thought we would do that really quickly, just to see, mostly because I'm super curious. Let's go ahead and test this on some cotton paper. So I'm just going to add some water, and then I'm just going to use the ultramarine. They re-wet nicely, and they disperse well, but yeah, they don't have too much of a flow. And this is with lots of water, but you will see the, and that is usually how I swatch them, but I didn't this time. I generally like paints with some flow. In fact, I'm experimenting with adding Oxcal to my paint water because I really like flow. And Oxcal is just it's a resource. We should use it, is how I view it. But I know some people are wanting to stay away from it. All right, so there's that one. And I wondered if they were this and a metal palette for Bennett, but these, it seems like these had more flow if I remember right. So now I wanted to test those. And it comes in a really nice little plastic palette. So these I did get a long time ago, probably a year, at least a year ago. They do not have any cracks in them. And let's see how that does. So this one is their ultramarine. They also have the Quin Gold or Gamboge. Yeah, see, these are a little more flowy. They seemed almost like these. Have the paints that came in this kit. This is the newest version that I saw, and this case, you have to be pretty careful with it because it does seem to scratch pretty easy. But it came with a nice set of these Meylang paints. So let's see, let's test their ultramarine. I'm putting quite a bit of water, maybe too much, the one I used. And then of course we have Schmincke Academy grade, and they do not have Oxcal as well. So, but you do know the pigment information is correct, and this is what they look like after a few times using it. They're very nice for a student grade. And even though they don't have Oxcal, very flowy. So it just depends on what you want, but you can see the color payoff. I don't know if I got the same, this isn't like a brand by brand, it was just more of the flow. So I don't know if I got the same amount of pigment on each. I really like unique palettes. And so that's why I'm a kind of a palette junkie when it comes to Schmincke palettes, because they always make these wonderful palettes that are unique. And I'm a real sucker for unique palettes. So, yeah, I don't know if that was a good test or not. It's all personal preference though. I don't know if that was helpful. I don't know if I used the same amount of water and the same amount of paint, but at least you can see that the flow. You still get good dispersion. I still enjoyed it for that. So thank you to Paul Rubens for sending me these products. I always love trying new things and sharing them. I hope this inspired you to go do some painting no matter what brand you use, and I hope you have a great day. Seeing all of the blues and grays, I just thought I'd like to paint a koala. So I'm going to sketch out a koala really quickly, and I'm going to share most of the painting process today. My memory card did run out, so I'll warn you. So, but I just quickly sketched it, and I'm trying really hard to not be perfect. So now that I'm seeing this, I can see that I did make the eye a little too high and a little too much over. And that's why I couldn't get this painting the way I liked it because my drawing wasn't quite as good as it should have been. But I'm trying really hard to just use my sketchbook for playing and sketching and not being too hard on myself. So I'm going to try to be okay with it. And at the end of the day, after I played with it a lot, I did like my koala. I already shared that, but I still need to work on the leaves. But I'm one, I don't know how you guys do your sketchbooks, but I'm one that I paint for how much time I have, and then it's time to go make dinner, or take care of the dog. I cook for my dog. I'm one of those people. So I'm usually painting, and I use painting as my me time, as my treat myself time, as okay, I'm done with everything, now I can do what I want to do. One of these days I want to start where I'm doing that first, but I don't have time to make art my priority yet. It's the time where I get to play and experiment, and I don't have long sessions that I can usually just sit and paint. So I have to grab quick, times where I can do that. So I use what time I have to paint and try not to be too hard on myself. And then oftentimes I have to go back and fix it because sometimes I was in a little bit of a hurry. But oftentimes I'm really for when I painted this koala, I went pretty quick because I was excited to try these new paints. And that happens a lot too. So I did put I did use some Schmincke masking fluid, and I'm still trying to learn how to use masking fluid. And I wind up having to go in and fix a lot of mistakes from using almost too much masking fluid still. But I absolutely love it. I wish I would have started using it a long time ago. So I highly recommend using some masking fluid if you have been too chicken, like I was too chicken to try it for a long time. I was afraid it would ruin my paper or stain it blue or tear. I think I was mostly worried about it tearing. And it's not going to tear your paper. You got to try it. I don't know if it matters the brand. I've only tried Schmincke. There's might be other more affordable brands. Yeah, I highly recommend trying some masking fluid if you haven't done yet. But I like using the masking fluid to kind of make sure I don't paint in those areas accidentally for the eyes and for the fur that's supposed to be mostly white. But also the highlights of like the edges were of the koala's fur where the light was kind of reflecting off. And because I do tend to paint so excited that I can kind of not leave those areas as light as they need to be. Just like my leaves, I just kind of went in too dark because I'm trying to hurry. So, but I'm not selling this. This is just for my personal joy. And so I'm okay with it. So here I'm painting the leaves, and I'm just going back and kind of painting some of the leaves. I'm not going to show the whole process because it's pretty boring and I just did the same thing. And then I'm adding some red because the branches looked like they were more reddish. So I'm trying to add that red detail, and I thought it added some really nice contrast that I really needed in there. So I removed the masking fluid, and you can use a square. You can also just use your finger. Sometimes I use a microfiber cloth. You just want to do it gentle, and it won't tear your paper. So here I'm adding I'm going to go ahead and use watercolor pencils. And I love watercolor pencils because they let me do what I like to do, which is paint fast and then go in and kind of fix some of my errors. Some places I went too fast and just wanted to hurry, and they let me go and fix that. They also let me get in the fine detail, like the eyes here. I'm going to share starting painting the eyes with these watercolor pencils because it's a really small area, and I really wanted to capture the detail of the eyes because there was this really weird kind of a greenish brown color that I didn't know existed. But luckily the Arctic watercolor pencils that I'm using today have that color. I didn't know how I would use that color, and then I saw the koala's eyes and I was like, this is it. So I was also able to use some dark brown, I think it's the chocolate color if I remember right, as well as a violet color. And I could get the eyes to look the way I wanted them to. So now I'm using the watercolor pencil directly off the brush, which is a good way to get it a little more pigmented and add even more detail. I'm using a little bit of that violet and violet or blue. I'm not sure which one I used actually. Then I'm going to try to add some white to the nose. Wasn't near white enough for me. Now I'll go and try to take some of the paint and kind of add some more detail, more brush detail. Generally when I'm painting, I'm just excited and I want to try it. I just find I'm just experimenting and trying to learn. And so I just go in and try everything I think I want to try, because to me watercolors are so forgiving, because what's the worst that can happen? You put down too much, usually if you use colors that aren't staining, you can go back and lift most of it out. So that's kind of the way my approach is. Let's try this, and if I don't like it, I'm going to go back and I'm going to lift it back out. One of these days, I hope I can just kind of be more intentional with all my brush strokes and be that painter, but I'm not there yet. I still want to try everything, and I'm like a little kid in a candy store when I paint, and I want to try different brush strokes. And here I'm doing my smush technique where I smush the brush and it adds more texture to the fur. One day that I hope that I can be super intentional about every brush stroke and every color and every, thing I'm doing, and be more intentional about it. But right now, I'm just having so much fun. I'm just playing, and I'm not even thinking about what's right or what's wrong. I'm just enjoying the process, and that's really how I approach painting. And I'm still very much into learning and experimenting, and so I will put way too much fine detail, and then I will go and I make sure and use non-staining colors so I can most of the time go lift it out if I don't like it. Sometimes I love it so much that I just keep going a little too far. So I'm still overworking probably 90% of everything, but I don't care. So the white watercolor pencil from Artix didn't quite do it. So I had to pull out my Caran d'Ache. I had to pull out the big guns. And my favorite is the Caran d'Ache white. It is by far the best white. And then I'm going to add some of it around because all the koala fur, it just had the white as well as the gray. And so I had to go back and add some more white details with that pencil. So there's the end of the footage. I'll put the end picture. I just kept adding more white and a little more watercolor pencils, and then I finished my painting. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.